All right, welcome back to the LCS Challengers League. We're being ignored by Kangas. It's okay. Just watch him over there. It's because I keep making fun of him. He's just not going to pay attention to anything we say anymore. He's just like, yeah, whatever.
Look at that.
Oh, there he is. There he is. He's back. Okay, good. Yeah, guess what we're doing now, Steve? You've missed everything. We've been talking for like a good 2 minutes here on stream. Everyone's just been watching you like not pay attention.
Oh, I was putting together a bagel, which I will not be able to enjoy until after this next game. We're doing a halftime segment, right?
We are doing a halftime segment. Do you want to know what the halftime segment is, Mr. Tardy?
I like going into a blind.
All right, well, then I won't even say what the name is. All right, why don't we just get right into it?
I mean, I'm sure Cynthia will just tell us what it is in the lower third.
All right. It's called This or Stat.
This one.
If you don't know what it is, I have 5 questions, one of each of our lane assignments, and it's pretty much me asking this or that, which one is the player. There is only one correct answer, though. Like, it is actually a question about the players, so to try to test your knowledge of each one of them. And yes, it is a competition. You can answer the same in this one, but you are trying to fight for points.
So it's like a buzz in, and like whoever answers first gets it?
No, just answer.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. You ready for the first question? I got it over here.
Let's do it.
Who has more competitive games on Lucian? Sword or Destiny?
Sword.
That's a good question. It's got to be Sword.
Why?
Yeah,
okay, can you tell people why?
So Sword was a mid laner. He role swapped into support, and I think Lucian was probably played a little bit while he was in the mid lane. And Destiny, I don't know him as a role swap. I think he's only been support, at least as far as I've known him as a player. So that's why I'd go Sword.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the answer is Destiny. Destiny, for a month back in 2016, had to swap to ADC, where he played 6 games of Lucian.
So
Sword only played 3
Fair
in
enough.
mid lane.
Okay.
I should have known. I should have known that because
Like,
it's
the fact
magical
that he
doing this,
asked.
it's going to be a baited question. Yep.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, leave it to me. Leave it to me. I'll always find ways to kind of trick you.
2016?
Yup.
Was League of Legends even a game back then? Nah, that was like the golden era of... I should say that.
Yeah, I was about to say, come on, man.
With me.
Come on. All right, let's go on to question 2. So neither of you got a point on that one. Which player has more competitive games in their entire career? Instinct or Unforgiven?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I'm going to say Unforgiven.
Well, okay, competitive games in their career, does that mean like in the EMEAs?
ERLs
Like,
definitely count, no?
like developmental leagues count?
Yeah,
Developmental leagues count, but it has to also be something that was recorded. So even if like they played games, but there wasn't actually a record of it, or like nobody kept track of that, doesn't count.
Well, so basically you're saying if it's on their Leaguepedia page,
Yes.
then
Yes.
shout out to Leaguepedia for keeping track of the information for us. You know what? Because again, it's magical. I feel like it's going to be a weird one. Because in amateur, there's a lot of games. You play a lot of games.
Kind of true.
In North American semi-pro and developmental. So I'm actually going to go
interesting.
Instinct, not because Unforgiven like shouldn't have a lot of games played, but just because a number of amateur games I know that these players go through, I think will actually lean to Instinct's way.
All right, and Beatdown, are you sticking with Unforgiven? Are you gonna? All right, now we will have someone getting a point. The answer is Instinct. You were right, Steve.
Wow.
It's because
Let's go.
there are far more games when it came to amateur, especially within the last few years when it came to Proving Grounds and all of that actually accumulated to that total. He actually has a total before today of 232 games compared to 188 out of Unforgiven.
Yeah,
Both of
think
them
about
have a
how many
ton.
games are played in the PG qualifiers, or were played in the PG qualifiers last year. It was insane.
But there's also it was also playing in other tournaments such as like UPL and Risen back in the day that also add up to that. While the ERLs are a lot, and that's why I said Unforgiven has also gotten 188, which is a lot as well in a short career as to boot. It is Instinct that comes out on top. So, Steve, you're now in the lead. Yeah, and you're in the lead.
Let's go.
1-0. All right, let's get on to question 2.
Wait, how many games did Instinct have total again?
232
Jeez.
before today.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
All right, so now question number 3. Which player is from Greece? Blaze or Pretty?
It is pretty.
Pretty.
It is pretty, although technically, he's an oceanic resident, so he's not an import, okay? We get by on a technicality here.
Yeah.
Are you sure about this?
Is it both? You can't say which player if the answer is both.
It can't be this or status.
I know it's pretty.
No, you are both right. You both get a point. It is pretty. Blaze, this one is the reason why I wanted to include this one, to give you pity points, but also to kind of illustrate that Blaze, his nationality is actually from North Macedonia, which is the country right above Greece. So they have a shared history in that regard. Yeah, I thought that was a very interesting question to put in there, mostly because not being the right... I couldn't just say North Macedonia, because then you'd guess Blaze. It was better just to say pretty, because then everyone could talk about it.
I do pat myself on the back sometimes.
Yeah. So, question number 4. Which player played Diana the most? Maniac or Yukino?
Maniac.
Diana.
Diana.
Mm-hmm.
I wish someone would play it mid. That's not relevant. I just wanted to...
I remember Yukino playing Diana with Yasuo. I don't remember who their mid laner was at the time, but I remember when that was meta, I'm pretty sure Yukino was piloting that. No, this is the strat. I just answer whatever Beatdown answers, and I can't lose because I'm already ahead in points. So I'm gonna go the same. I'm gonna go Maniac, even though I think it's Yukino.
All right. The answer is Maniac.
Oh, good thing I did that. Good thing I did that.
Yukino has not played it competitively at all. There hasn't actually been a game that Yukino.
Yeah, because I've basically seen all of Yukino's competitive games because he started last year.
Yeah, he has not played it competitively.
Sometimes I just make up thoughts in my head, and I'm just like, oh, that's true. That's factual.
Right. So, for this last question, I'm going to ask the basic, stat, but then I'm going to ask you for a bonus point, and you have to answer differently.
Ooh, so, interesting.
You have to answer differently. I'm going to take away your thunder, Steve. So, in their one game where they met before Lunacia became a sub for 100x, which player gained a 100 CS lead over the other at 25 minutes? Lunacia or Sniper? Bonus point if you can remember what team it was and who they subbed for.
Are you saying well they did this against each other or they did it against someone else?
Lunacia subbed for a different team to play against Sniper.
Would that would have been Zenigma then, like the one amateur team that Lunacia has been on. So that's the second answer. So Beatdown cannot give that answer, right? I got it first.
And and who's the one you choose, Lunacia or Sniper?
I mean, Sniper.
I'm on Lunacia. I think that Lunacia has actually gotten a pretty good track record, especially after hearing some of the things that he did when he was subbing in for 100 Thieves Next.
And Beat, what team? You cannot say Zenigma.
But it was Zenigma.
I will tell you this.
Maybe it was University of Oregon. You don't know.
I will say this. I said the answer already in this broadcast.
So then, the University of you just
Oregon.
said it. Oregon, thank you. So he was on Oregon.
Canadians.
You guys weren't paying attention. You're both wrong on that front. He subbed in for Team Fish Taco for Allura.
Oh, you did say that.
I mentioned this. That's all. I thought this would be a nice, easy one, which is why I told you.
Right?
And Sniper smashed. So the point goes to Beatdown.
Okay.
A tie ball game. So why don't we break the tie before we get ready for our next game? Let's see. I'm trying to think of a question off the top of my head.
This is dangerous.
Oh, no.
Magical free balling on broadcast.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Very dangerous. Very dangerous. Let's see.
What's he got? What's he cooking?
Playing with forces.
What if we ask him a question, Beatdown? Yeah, what gives Magical the power here, okay?
Yeah, you got a question, ask me. Ask me. Fine, go ahead. Go ahead. Take over. Whatever.
Magical, what was Unforgiven's KDA at the end of that game?
That's not how this or stat works.
Oh,
No.
That isn't. But whatever. It's a question. I think it counts.
Yeah. You said if we have a question.
Let's see. All right, hold on.
Yeah.
All right, production.
Answer the question, Magical.
It's official. Fine. All right. I believe it was... I'm going to go with 18.
I don't remember. I actually asked the question and I did not know the answer. So
Damn,
maybe...
I thought you had it down too.
I'm pretty sure...
Check the tapes. Check the tapes.
I'm pretty sure he had 11 kills, and I don't remember how many assists he had, but he did only have one death.
So he only
actually
had
might be
11 kills, and I can't remember how many...
If he has enough assists... Oh, we can see it here.
Yeah, we got
17.
13.
Oh my my God.
So close. No, the way you calculate it is you add the kills and assists, and then you divide it by the deaths.
Man, I
you
was
were actually this close.
All right, sorry, Magical. That's wrong. You got the wrong answer.
All right, well, that's unfortunate. You know what? If things happen, let's see how we're doing on time if we're getting ready for the game. Because I'll be honest, I want to see how this one's going to unfold. And while we get ready for it, let's kind of do our check-ins with how, especially the top side of the map went. Because Lunacia definitely was the bright spot of that team for FlyFam. The unfortunate reality was when it came to the mid-game, a lot of these provisional teams just seemed to struggle.
Yeah, the biggest thing there that I really think hurt Lunacia was that Lunacia naturally got a lead, got a solo kill and everything. But in the attempt to get Instinct and Sword kind of back in the game because of what Yukino did at level 3, there was this constant rotation around the map, getting these 2v1s. And that forced Lunacia to have to 1v2 as well into an already ahead Lucian Navi, which was not a fun time. I think Kangas called it the 1-2 punch, and Lunacia definitely got knocked out.
Yep. Well, I got one question for you that I'm going to give to you before I toss it to the draft. It's going to be a this or stat or hat or that or hat or rat or cat or bat or stat chat or slap. It's going to be which player gets first blood in this game. You guys take it away. Let's enjoy the second game.
Who's going to get first blood in this game? Beatdown, I don't know, actually. That's a good one.
I don't know either.
I'm going to go Unforgiven. I feel like Yukino is going to look at bot side again. I feel like Unforgiven's a pretty safe bet.
I think it's going to be Maniac.
Maniac?
Yes.
All right. Well,
yeah,
we got our bets in. Let us know in chat who you think is going to get in. Also, which team you think is taking this one. FlyFam continuing their loss streak. They've picked up one win in the split when they split the series against CLG Faith 1-1. But they have looked like a, again, a team that could have had more wins than this at this point in the split. And I still think that they have signs of life even in that last game, despite the fact that it did turn into a confirmed schlacking from 100 Thieves Challengers. Now on the red side, let's see if they are able to turn their fortunes around.
It's going to be tough. This one was definitely one of the less close games for FlyFam, and it's difficult because they have roster shakeups that have been happening, like a couple of other teams that we've already noted, where they don't have their jungler, or they lost their jungler rather, and Maniac stepped in. So there's a lot of getting used to here, a lot of adjustment, practice. It's really hard when you're on a lose streak as well to turn things around. So I imagine FlyFam focused on just getting better every single day. Myra even tweeted it with regards to CLG Faith, saying that, look, we're here to develop players. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and that's what, I mean, honestly, any team, you could say, a lot of the players, though, that already feel they have developed enough, they're shooting to be like, okay, now it's time to get promoted. But especially for these more provisional teams, it is about developing, getting to that point. You can look at 100 Thieves Challengers and see a lot of players on here that were like, yeah, no, they could be slotted into the pro level and, carry their own weight.
Maybe.
But for FlyFam, when you look at these players, you look at this list, this roster, and you say it's about how do they grow, how do they improve going forward in the split. Right now, 100 Thieves Challengers lock in the Lulu, which signals to me they will go for the Zeri in the bottom lane. That is still available. So FlyFam answer with a Varus and a Sejuani of their own.
And this time around, the Sedge is going to make it through. Very easy to make early plays on for the side of FlyFam, and that's good because, one, I said Maniac would get first blood, and two, you need some of that early game pressure. That's where FlyFam have found some of their small successes in the early game. It is from ganks, and you're playing into a Vi where you're going to have good early skirmishing as long as you pair with Blaze with a mid laner who can also fight things out as well, because this early game is your bread and butter as FlyFam, and you got to make it work.
And in game one, Maniac was on a champion that can gank early, did not. I'd like to see Maniac focus on that on the Sejuani this time around. Go for early ganks. Try and impact the lanes. Lunacia will get the signature Renekton. I think out of the 17 solo kills that he has, probably half of them are on this champion. He does love to pilot the Crocodile, so happy to grab that.
Yeah, into like several different kinds of matchups, and it's a comfort pick. And again, just proves that 100 Thieves banning a first rotation last game makes sense. It's something they'll just pick right off the bat and make sure he has the best matchup possible. Having the Varus too, early means you might lose out on some support picks, which is actually what I think 100 Thieves are going to start banning towards. But it's tough because you really wanted to get that Croc. I'm hoping to see if FlyFam, maybe Sword brings out something a little different, because we're already going to see the enchanters like Karma taken out of the picture. Maybe Raw, maybe one of the tankier boys in the bottom lane for more team fight setup. You know, that would be cool.
I'm just hoping that it's not Sword on the Varus. People were experimenting with the Varus support, and I was not a fan of it. I don't think that that's one of the ones that's going to work, Chief. So as long as it's something that is more traditional for Sword, I'm a little happier. I will say, I think that we're learning a lot about FlyFam's priority themselves on the top half of the map because of their willingness to lock in something for Lunacia in first rotation. Even on red side now, they're not trying to counterpick, because they know that if they did not lock in a top laner, 100 Thieves Challengers would have banned out the Renekton, probably banned out another top laner. So, as fun as it is and as cool as it is to watch Lunacia work, I think that the one concern I have is champ pool and is flexibility. And it's not like Moose Hater where it's like, oh yeah, save final pick because the champ pool's too deep, you can always find a counter. I think we're learning, it's like, nah, Lunacia is mostly comfortable on certain champs and will lock those in earlier, which means now Blaze will probably get the counter pick. Okay, it's Soraka. I actually do like this a lot.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of her, but you offer a lot of healing, sustain, and things like that. Anti-dive threat. So a lot of nice options there. Opened up with that Soraka because of what Sword's pulling up. And it's tough. No Akali, I think, is one of Blaze's best champions, at least so far this split. And it's something that he's getting banned away. He's getting banned from him a lot. So what are they going to give Blaze? Is it just going to be that standard controlled mage matchup? Azir is up. Victor is up. Maybe we see something spicy like the Trist again.
Ornn locked in for Sniper. Big tank. This is a team fight focused team now. It's going to be about Unforgiven carrying. He got a pentakill on the Zarya yesterday. That was exciting. And now he's got the tools around him to do it yet again. Even an Orianna lock in. This is very standard front to back style of League of Legends. And now, yeah, I mean, Blaze gets the counter pick, but what are you going to draft here to try and turn this this comp around? Because I don't see them having any clear choice to win a 5v5 front to back here. You got to go for a different style now.
I'm trying to think. Like, Azir still works. If you want to go for team fighting, there's Corki. I haven't really seen Blaze run that one. Late game, okay. So the Cassidy, which was still up, I don't see Blaze play that one a lot, but this will give you something that you're kind of lacking, which was some of that late game scaling. It's a little hard for Cassidy to play into what 100 Thieves want to do because the team fight is so good, but if Blaze has a decent laning phase, if FlyFam do what I see a lot of other teams do with this pick, especially Golden Guardians, is you leave, you ignore dragons, you ignore major objectives for the first little bit, and you leave Cassidy on the other side of the map, just basically solo farming it out to get ahead.
Yeah, you're not picking this for lane phase. You're going to probably be even targeted in lane phase. Vi Orianna is a scary combo. They pack enough punch together to kill you, and they have enough CC with the Vi ultimate into the Orianna ultimate to kill you. So Blaze is not going to have a fun time early, but it's not about the early. It's about the scaling and trying to get to that point.
Right, and you have these leads that you can get on this bottom lane because, one, you should have push. This is a good matchup for Instinct and Sword. And you have the Varus, like one of the strongest bot lanes at the moment, not in the support slot, which I know you and I are both very excited about, Kangas. Meaning that Instinct, who also took the Ghost, that's already an immediate flag where it's like, oh, he wants to fight. He wants to kill.
He does. And I will say, I think Soraka is stepping up as the enchanter to beat the other enchanters. She does kind of bully around a lot of other enchanters in lane. And I do like the silence field in particular against things like a Vi. If she's ulting in onto somebody, drop the silence right below their feet.
Yep.
You can't follow up after and will get stunned. You can also interrupt Ornn's second ult charge if you're in range to get it. So it's a pretty big counter to some of the bigger engage tools of 100 Thieves right now. And as well as doing well in lane. So that's kind of why I'm happy to see the Soraka popping up more in the meta right now.
I like it a lot. And I like that Pretty was hovering just to make sure an early 2v2 wouldn't actually happen and it would be the 2 versus 3. And if you have an opinion on who's going to win this game, would you spam team codes in the chat. And actually, you know something interesting we don't really talk about with Zeri? Not as strong early in the game, right? But you see that yellow bar, her passive? The interesting thing about that is she actually does a good amount of damage. That's how she autos when she uses her right click, right? And that will actually do a good bit of damage to low health targets, which is why someone is like, you know, at a fifth of their health in the laning phase, and then Zeri just clicks them, and you're like, oh, well, what happened? They died. Something you got to be careful of.
She can scare you with some of the burst damage coming in there. And I also will say, being in the lane first, you just need to expect this as a bot lane. Instinct walked up and took 2 free autos from Unforgiven, did not trade back. Those are the kinds of things where that's what we're judging FlyFam on. It's not about can they win the game necessarily, because they're not favored to win the game against a team like 100 Thieves. We're looking at the performances. You know, how much is their head in the game, and having that kind of just walk up to the lane and not kind of do a sidestep just to check in case they're in the lane first. Those are the kinds of things I want to see them clean up. I want to see those little performances, the little things that FlyFam can build on to then pick up bigger plays later.
Bigger plays that hopefully lead to some wins. Very sorely needed in the FlyFam camp. We'll see how the rest of the laning phase shakes out. Again, another reason it's important for bot and top to go well is because you got Kassadin in the mid lane. Blaze, it's going to be pressured a lot, like we're calling out and like we expect. So it's about making sure that the rest of the map is all right, doesn't get set on fire, so this Kassadin can scale. I actually like this from Maniac.
Or, I guess, more so early hover, because you're also maybe fearful of Yukino looking for that gank. If Yukino is there, at least Maniac is answering. Spotted on the rafters, though, so Pretty has the information to know that the jungler is nearby.
Use that information to start trading more aggressively. That's good. It's that good awareness, the good warding to make sure that the Sejuani doesn't get that early game pressure that we know she is so good at generating here. They have that information on the side of 100 Thieves. So Yukino knows he can just go ahead and grab this Scuttle Crab. Nice little thumbs up. I'm gonna pretend that was for us.
Huh. You knew. Oh, no, no one's building AP.
No one's building APs.
Get that out of here. Get that off the screen.
Zeri mid was almost a thing.
Producers,
like
drop it. Producers, drop this. We don't want to highlight this.
Yes, we can't give this man a platform.
It's still on the screen.
Tech.
I'm nervous. There we go.
Thank you.
Goodness. Now we're back into the game. Blaze trading onto Pretty. They won't see Maniac coming in this time, but I don't know if they're really feeling frisky enough to go for the hard committal. Although this would be tragic if the bat completes right as Yukino's coming in for the gank, and it does. Blaze is all alone now. They saw Yukino. The Blaze has time to flash. It's a trade of flash, mid laner for jungler.
And even though you don't have flash, at least Blaze, when he comes back to lane, will have that opportunity, reach level 6 and have the Rift Walk. So not too vulnerable compared to other mid laners like maybe Ori if Pretty had blown his flash. But we'll see, because Yukino is getting closer and closer to that level 6, and I suspect more attention will be paid in that mid lane, because Kassadin should never be allowed to have a good time in lane. It's just a fact of life.
And his wave's kind of frozen on him too. He goes back, he teleports in as the tier, so he can start stacking that early. She's going to try and get this to shove as Pretty is trying to clear out. Will eventually back and TP himself, but Pretty is getting a pretty comfortable CS lead right now over Blaze in the early game. Again, to be expected. It's just about surviving as the Cass.
That's right. And
ooh, Lunacia struggle. Oh, wait a minute. Sniper could be in trouble.
Crazy.
Missed the headbutt charge. Now level 6 for Lunacia. That's flash out of Sniper. Lunacia jumps in, gets the stun, and first blood solo kill. Number 18 for Lunacia.
Only sad thing about it is that I thought about saying Lunacia when guessing who would get first blood, but I chickened out.
Yep.
But big early plays. This is what we expect from the Renekton and the advantages that Lunacia usually gets in the top lane. It is something that Maniac and the rest of the team can play towards, and one of those big win cons that need to be fulfilled so Kassadin can just continue to scale. Yeah. And again, like, you're not fighting early objectives here. Your bot lane's getting pushed in. Your mid lane's getting kind of smoked, as you expect. So it's just going to be, again, sacking those early objectives to give your Kassadin the space to be able to just farm, scale up. And we haven't really talked about what 100 Thieves need to do. And at this point, because they have this opportunity to go for early objectives, they're just chilling if the game is at this kind of stage. You don't have to really force anything just yet unless there's like a really obvious, egregious mistake coming through here, you can farm, fight for that level 6 on your junglers, and then go for Rift Herald.
I think Rift Herald's a look for them, but bigger than that, I think it's going to be Dragon stacking. Because obviously you have Unforgiven Destiny in the bot lane. They are winning this matchup pretty heavily. There's no prio for a Kassadin lane, so Pretty will always have shove, always have the first rotation, or at least should always have both of those. And you're not going to look to scale hyper late game against a Kassadin. They still have answers. They can polymorph. They can just Vi ult the Kassadin and kind of keep Blaze locks down that way. But ideally, it's going to be a more mid-game focus, I think, for 100 Thieves Challengers here. Stack up the dragons, keep fighting there, because you should be favored in these team fights.
Right, that's the big thing that you're hoping for, because you Orin, Zeri, Orianna, oh my goodness.
Yeah, Sword's in a little bit of trouble. Good answer back, as Instinct trades a lot of damage there on Unforgiven. Still, win of a bot lane trade for 100 Thieves Challengers. Unforgiven and Destiny focusing down on the Soraka and just constantly making pressure. Instinct's falling 15 CS behind, and that's not because of jungle interference. That is just in the 2v2. And yeah, welcome to Unforgiven's lane kingdom.
That's right.
Next here. Oh, level 6. Glacial Person just barely not landing onto Pretty. The slow is there, but Pretty flashes away and gets out.
I like the direction he chose to flash in as well. Yukino on that top side walking towards him. It's just about getting as far away from Sejuani as you can, because that's your big concern there. Not level 7 Kassadin. Plays out well, and that all-in was meant to give FlyFam the opening to go for Herald, but it doesn't work out, meaning it's an easy secure here, but FlyFam, they don't want to make it so easy.
Maniac and Lunacia are answering right now, but there's multiple members of 100 Thieves nearby. It is stolen. Maniac picks up the Herald, but Lunacia actually pays the price for it. Will get targeted, goes down. Blaze walks in to pick up the Herald charge and is able to ult out of there. That Shockwave down from Pretty does not have enough damage to kill Blaze, so FlyFam, they steal the objective and they pick it up.
And it's a nice move from Soren to be able to give some of that healing. Had he not done so, Blaze wouldn't have survived the encounter, and it's even better now. He can help him out, help push this wave. You're not worried about the Shockwave anymore, but it's time to go.
Yeah, still gotta be kind of careful. I mean, Lulu does a decent amount of damage as a support in the early game. Your early levels in your E in particular kind of hurt, so that means Blaze has to be kind of careful. Sword will stick around, as so is Destiny. The supports making sure that their mid laners are feeling good, and Pretty getting another shove. Blaze, oh, I thought he was going to go for the back, but we'll stick around for one more wave. Does Yukino want to punish? It doesn't look like it, but let's get a replay here of the setup. Good steal for Maniac.
This was a tough call because, like, Blaze is pushed in mid lane. You know you're 2v3ing this one, but they go for it anyway, which is really interesting. But it ends up being stolen. A really nice smite from Maniac. And Lunacia did his best to try and stun Ornn out of the second proc of his ultimate. But as soon as that one hit, there was no world in which he made it happen. It was good of Blaze to be able to pick up the eye. And that's the next thing I'm looking at for FlyFam. Where are you going to drop that? Likely mid lane, just have your support and jungler go mid, because getting Blaze back in this game is super important as he's been falling further and further behind.
That would feel fantastic. I mean, he is behind, but yeah, that's expected for the Kassadin, and if you get more gold funneled into him, get him to that Rod of Ages as quickly as possible. Because once that's stacked up, if you can time that stacking up with then bind the Seraphs, that feels fantastic as the Kassadin. You're probably going to get there around the time you get the second point in your ult as well. And then you're actually a champion. You're able to start participating. You're not the crazy late game threat like you will be once you hit level 15, but still, it feels much, much better. Or rather, level 16.
Right. And again, it's like you said, once you get 1, 2 items and level 11, you feel all right. You feel like you're part of the game now. Blaze is just playing a very dangerous farming simulator, but
okay, he had flash, so I guess that's why Yukino didn't go in. But once he ults first, I think you can go for it. But now it's Pretty in trouble. If Blaze gets this kill, that's big. Lunacia pops the Dominus. Blaze goes in for it. Oh, shockwaved back. Lunacia deep in enemy territory will trade it. But Yukino locks him down for a clean double kill.
Wow.
Unforgiven's in.
Oh,
ulted.
God.
Instinct's doing damage, though. Sword's keeping him alive. Unforgiven's drain tanking through it. Get a lot of health. It was actually Destiny's heal that kept him up there with the wild growth. Wow, a lot of action suddenly on the map.
Zeri Lulu, everybody. That wild growth is unbelievable for turning fights around. And now at this point, Sword has to back. Doesn't have Wish anymore. But you're seeing these small advantages, and you're seeing Unforgiven and Destiny continue to put on the pressure. Not afraid at all to be able to trade aggressively. Even when it looked like things weren't going well, they managed to get that wave in, recall, and they just continue to grow their lead. That Mythic is there for the Zeri, and that second item that you hope for is on its way, and that's when things get really good for him.
So close for Blaze getting the kill. I like the killer look from him. Maybe a bit overambitious. You could argue that it was not worth it. Oh, the Herald doesn't get the charge.
Wait, that's crazy.
Yeah, I am very surprised the Herald didn't just auto-target the turret right there. But let's get another look here, and then we'll react to the Herald more.
Right, and I think like the team not on the same page. The fact that Blaze went in, I like this. You know Pretty has no flash, and being so close to the dragon, that's something you could commit for. But instead, I mean, it's just one at a time, and even with the kill, you don't make it happen.
Also, really just clean play from Yukino, keeping Lunacia under the turret as sniper. Just bullying him around right now. Is applying grievous wounds anytime Lunacia hits him, and also has the Frostfire Gauntlet completed. So he's feeling nice and strong in this 1v1 now, up 30 CS. The Chain of Corruption lands onto Yukino. Blaze is in there. Oh, Glacial Prison misses. Now Yukino Wild Growth, he's still healthy, Unforgiven. This is the team fight angle for him. Zeri do Zeri things. He's silenced, he's slowed, but he is not stopped enough as he will go forward for more. Picks up the first kill. Do they want to dive under the turret? I think FlyFam, with this turret up, can defend against this. Unforgiven's gonna keep him locked there, though. Ooh, that was some confidence play.
And it's confidence well-deserved. Look at what they gotten out of a result of that. They just continue picking up more kills. They force summoner spells out to no avail. Blaze still goes down again. And for this Kassadin, dying twice at this point in the game is brutal. 100 Thieves, though. You said it. Confidence. They're playing well. And you can just see how good they are at playing together. And that is one of the biggest things we say about FlyFam and kind of the struggles that they're dealing with right now. It is that teamwork that 100 Thieves are showing us.
Dude, Unforgiven's not balanced.
No.
This guy's kind of crazy. A League of Legends beatdown. I mean, when you're Zeri without even having a mythic item and you're doing that already in the game, that's just the level of play that you can expect from the bot lane of 100 Thieves. You see Blaze on the screen right now. He is still scaling up, sure, but this game is in control of 100 Thieves Challengers. So let's not get this confused by any stretch. They are up in gold. They're controlling the rift. They have the trigger pull with this composition. Anytime FlyFam are out of position, they will just die.
That's the power of the all-in they have. Having the Soraka is nice, and that could be the difference maker in some of these all-ins, but it's difficult when you're so far back in gold, or you can get blown up before Sword's W comes off of cooldown after using it once. And it's true, we were expecting 100 Thieves to get these early objectives because that is often how teams play around the Kassadin. That's how you have to play around the Kassadin. But they are not getting the benefits for Blaze that you usually do when you sack objectives. They don't have Blaze in the side lane collecting gold by himself. Gold experience, all the things that he needs. Instead, now they've done so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, he's been in the side lane. He got Rod of Ages, and then he went side lane. So at this point, FlyFam are getting to that point.
Yeah, but they need to do more.
Ooh,
he's still down 30 CS. Oh, goodbye.
I don't know if this is gonna be a solo kill. This is a little ambitious. Do a lot of damage to him, and with Unforgiven here, okay, not a solo kill, but Sniper did enough damage for Unforgiven to clean it up. Oh, Zeri from off screen. That's one of the worst feelings in the world.
Yeah, that is indeed what we call an alley-oop there. And it was a perfect setup for Unforgiven to maybe just be on his way to get another pentakill. And you can see it. They're dropping the Herald while these camps are getting stolen away by Yukino. And Unforgiven is getting all this gold. Nobody is on that side of the map. Steve, it's going to be able to charge. And maybe this next turret goes down too, because look at Yukino. He's there. He has ult ready to go.
This is the thing about the provisional teams. FLYF, we're judging them not based on can they win the game, but how do they look in the game? How do they approach certain situations? That's one of the rough moments there, where they lose 2 turrets now, and 100 Thieves are sticking around, punishing Maniac for going in to try and save the remnants of that turret. The Thieves are looking clean. They are looking solid right now as they are punishing every mistake of their opponents.
And so little is gained in trade here. Blaze gets a turret. He is getting that side lane farm that we were talking about just moments ago. But it's plays like this. A kill would be huge to turn it around. But I mean, Pretty has flash. You don't really have the angle. No chain of corruptions. And it just sucks. In these games, it's so hard for you to play because you're waiting for these late game tools to come online. And at this point, they might not.
Pretty and Yukino were too prepared for all the plays of Blaze and Maniac. They were looking to try and get some kills early on the Blaze, but the veteran in Pretty now at this point at the semi-pro scene, as well as the second youngest player in the league in Yukino. The synergy coming online for 100 Thieves, and then Unforgiven just being untouched in the bot lane means that he's now this carry threat. So everyone just doing their role on 100 Thieves Challengers here. We can still look to this Kassadin in the late game. We are only 17 minutes, 50 seconds into the game, but this is going to be a Dragon Soul fight pre-25 minutes, and I don't see Kassadin, I don't see Blaze having 3 items by that point. You're going to be getting your Seraph soon here, so 100 Thieves, it's clean, it's clinical, and like I said, they are one of the teams surging at this point in the season. We're at the halfway point here, Beatdown. And that's where we have enough tape on these teams to kind of start to defining their style. And I'm happy to see that 100 Thieves Challengers are actually kind of hitting a peak. They're hitting their stride right now.
I think so too. And I want to see that kept up because, like, again, we talk about strength of schedule. They have played teams like Cloud9 and things like that, but they haven't played all of the top teams. But this is good, still good stuff. And we want to see them keep it going towards that end of the split. Live up to that potential that we see in a roster like this. Hyped up player like Sniper. Surprising young player like Yukino. And you go across the board here. I mean, Pretty was a great mid laner last year. A big part of IMT's run in Proving Grounds. One that surprised a lot of people. And this bot lane. We've said so much about this bot lane.
There he's on the flank right now. Okay. Maniac's out of there. He was looking to push back. 100 Thieves say, hey, this is our jungle. Maybe we can catch them. But 100 Thieves had the trap waiting with Unforgiven coming around. And now Pretty gets all the space to take this turret for himself. Yeah, I mean, so the strength of schedule argument, I still want to specify. I think, my opinion is 100 Thieves should be able to close out the rest of this split with a positive win record. I actually think they're going to be going into playoffs in the top 10. Absolutely. Honestly, I think they're going to push for top 5. Conversation based on how they've been looking and how good Unforgiven has been. There's look at this draft, for example. They're figuring out how to play around the bot lane, how to enable Unforgiven to be the primary carry, while also developing the younger players, because I think it's good for a player like Sniper to learn how to play the tanks. Yeah, he's exciting as a prospect in NA, 16 years old, loves to play the carries, but I mean, in a way, I think it's good to put them onto the tanks, let them play weak side, so that way you get balance as a player developing at this level, and you can also learn how to enable a carry elsewhere on the map.
And that's the meta we're in now, too. So it's good that Sniper is continuously able to show that flexibility here. And I was just looking at the teams in the league because of your top 5 statement, and I agree with you, Kangas. Top 5, definitely not even just the realm of possibility for 100 Thieves, but it's accepted. And we're at a point where we can start considering them as contenders, a word that we bring up a lot for winning it all here in the NACL.
That conversation is going to get very fun as we go further along in the weeks. Once we get towards the playoff picture, it's a 7-week single round robin, and then we go into playoffs, and that will determine then the seeding for teams. So FLYF, I mean, if you're a FLYF fan, if you believe in the team, in the org, the placement of the regular season will not determine relegations. It determines seeding going into playoffs, which then your performance there will determine if you are a bottom 4 provisional team and going into relegation. So they have time to scale up as Maybe not time in this game to scale up. Baron has been started by 100 Thieves Challenger. They're locking onto Sword. The Soraka walked forward. And Unforgiven says, thank you very much. I'll take that one. Rest of the team actually doing all right. Lunacia locking down pretty. And Blaze is popping off. Then Kassadin put in some work this fight. Instinct as well. But now Sniper, the big tanky Ornn, will just run him down. Blaze does not even have the Seraphs completed, so he just can't do enough in this fight. We'll try and chase down Destiny. Can he get him? One more ultimate should have it, but the ace for Unforgiven says, nope, I'll take another kill and a team fight win.
Oh, man. And that's got to be the nail in the coffin here in this series, Kangas. 100 Thieves, they know exactly what they need to do. Start the Baron and force the face check from FlyQuest, and you can see it. They immediately turn and burn here. And before Blaze can really get anything done, Unforgiven is just popping off, throwing out all sorts of damage here, is flashing to keep space between him and Blaze while continuously outputting all this DPS into the team fights. This is a wallet gap.
And honestly, considering the difference in gold spent, that was kind of close for FlyFam, but you just don't have enough because Unforgiven was pretty much untouched. Got the shield bow, and he is able to close that one out just fine. Now they're back onto the Baron. Maniac will have to look for a steal here. Does not have flash, does not have ultimate, and there's vision on them, so unlikely that this will come through. As Sword now, he's going to get chased down too, because 100 Thieves, they don't have to stay on the Baron. They can look for the kills instead. Maniac now getting hunted. He has to go into the pit, but the Baron is just not low enough. He's knocked up, he's taken down, and 100 Thieves Challengers will secure the objective.
And the only objective left for them is that Mountain Soul. Another fight like what we just saw, Kangas. And 100 Thieves close it out here and there, dominating, showing a convincing performance from one of the better teams we have at NACL. And it's just now we're just, what's the word? We're checking off boxes here. You got the Baron? Okay, now let's get the Mountain Soul. And then we get that cool little shield that never goes away. Pretty in Destiny though. They want gold.
Yeah, they're chasing down Blaze right now. The solo Kassadin has ult, can jump away, but Unforgiven will catch him, which is even more gold for Unforgiven to pick up. So, you know, you gotta look for what you can as Blaze, as the Kassadin, but you gotta also realize the dragon spawning bot side, that is the soul, and that is the final kill there in the side lane, 400 Thieves Challenger. The coolest thing about this team, not only the fact that they're hanging with the top dogs, but when they have this kind of lead, some teams, it takes them a little bit to actually end the game. You know, they're not always the cleanest, but you watch how 100 Thieves Challengers approaches this, because so far, when they have a lead, they know exactly what they do to close it out, and I think a lot of that comes down to the veteran voices of players like Unforgiven, like Pretty, who just have a strong understanding of what to do with this current game state.
And what that is go down mid. Use the Baron to just continue knocking down structures. Good old Nayram, even Pretty. This is from Os. Knows what it is when he joins North America. Maybe they started doing that in Os when it stopped becoming an import. You know, NARAM is a mindset, Kangas. It is not just something we do here. It's about who we are.
It really is. You know, it's in our DNA.
Yes.
As 100 Thieves Challengers look to close out this series with a 2-0, ending a very solid performance on the week. FlyFam giving their last effort, their last attempt here. Lunacia gets onto the back line, blazes with them. The solo laners doing what they can, but 100 Thieves are inevitable, and they will close out their week with a solid 2-0 performance against the provisional team of FlyFam. Stuck in their fountain, 100 Thieves still trying to pad the stats yet again. We've had a lot of this today. I don't know, we have to have a conversation with these players, be like, all right, I know that it's cool to have high KDAs, but also cool to, you know, send us home early here. That seems to be the name of the game right now. Into the fountain, they have one more kill. The Forgiven. Just hit the Nexus, guys. Come on, let's close this one out.
We're just bullying now.
Let's get some food in us. I got a bagel waiting to be eaten. I was late to the game, but I won't be late to the next series because 100 Thieves Challengers are trying to close this one out. I've given you like 5 opportunities now, guys. Come on, let's go for it. The minions will end the game.
Go. The minions heard the call. They knew that we were struggling, Kangas. And
is that both games?
Close it out. Yeah, they did that both games.
The minions ended both games. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, That is my preferred way to play ARAMs. Not necessarily how I like to see games closed out on stage, but that is just showing that 100 Thieves Challengers are one of the top teams in the league right now and are putting themselves back into that conversation despite a slower start beatdown. They now are up there with the Cloud9s, with the FlyQuest Challengers, with the CLGs, saying, hey, we are also in that conversation. So let's send it to a short break before we're back with Magical and one of the players going in from 100 Thieves Challengers for their post-series interview after this.
Hello, welcome back into the LCS Challengers League. I am Magical, joined in by the jungler of 100 Thieves Challengers. It is Yukino. You guys just rocked this weekend, 6-0 weekend. So, it's got to feel good, right? Everyone's ready to go celebrate.
Of course, yeah. I'm actually going Team Dinner after this, like with the boys.
Oh, where are you going? Where are you going?
I think we go in a hot pot or like some dumpling place. I don't know what it's called, but something exciting coming up in the next few hours for sure.
Either are great choices. Gotta say, I'm very jealous because I'll still be here. But but yeah, like I said, 6-0. Let's look at the games that you had today. I mean, that first game. What was happening with poor Sniper, right? I know I should talk about you, but like Sniper, it just did not feel like his series today.
Yeah. I mean, 2 days ago, he was like warming in the game. It was a Sniper show when he was playing Jax.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess like bad days happen. Like this time he decided to get solo killed by Lunacia like twice in 2 games. Like Lunacia has a TikTok. He might be getting put in the TikTok. But I remember in the first game, like. We were looking to gank top. He says a free kill, and I looked. It was a free kill, and then like when I ganked top, he just died, and I'm like, oh damn. And then the Jack tried to dive me afterwards and just died.
I think that's maybe what he was talking about. He was like, I'm gonna have to die for the free kill, which is free then if you think about it.
Yeah, I think he was getting too excited, and then he just told me and I just killed him. He just died. It was so funny.
Yep, and sometimes that's just how it is. But you performed really well in this series. Like you said, the Maokai, you were able to just Bramble Smash. There's also another play later in that game where there was the rocket jump from Tristana. You interrupted with the Bramble Smash midair.
Yep.
That was great plays to see out of you. And so when we look at this weekend and going into the future, let's look at next weekend. You're facing off against Dignitas Challengers. How is that matchup? Like, how prepared are you guys for that matchup? Since that is the top dog in the Challengers League.
I heard Dignitas like really good. I heard like their first place, and like we skinned them a few times, but like it's when we first got up bot lane, so like they're kind of destroying us. But I think we're pretty confident playing against them like this week. Like we just gotta work on some problems. I think we have like some problems like with our early game, but I think both games today were like pretty stable. It was like pretty chill. We knew what we were playing for early game, and the games felt like fine. So I think going to next week, I think we will destroy them.
All right, I believe in you guys. I think that it's going to be a good matchup because you guys really have been soaring. And I want to talk about you, but I also want to talk about all of your team because everyone seems to be firing on all cylinders at this point. So how would you describe the difference from the beginning of the split until now?
I think at the beginning of the split, we had a sub bot lane because we had like visa issues. So I think like the beginning of the split was kind of rough because we had 2 bot lane subs, and then we had like our ADC like come in. I think he was like I forgot the word, but like our ADC like came in like in the middle of the week, first week. We had 0 practice, and then we went like 1-1. We went like 2-2 in like the first week. I mean 1-1 in 2-2 in the first week, But I think now I think most of our problems have been fixed because like we're all like really good individual players. We just gotta work on like team play. So we've been working on that. Like in the C9 series, like really showed like I think both games like it was really rough the first 8 minutes. And the game felt unplayable, but I think we've been working on those problems. So I think for sure like when the playoffs come, even next week, yeah, we're scaling for sure.
And you know, sometimes games happen like that, right? Right? It's
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
it's the scrims where you're just like, all right, GG, go next. We're not learning anything from this game. Sometimes it just rolls that way, you know?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
All right, so before I let you go, your birthday's tomorrow. So everyone in chat, make sure you wish happy birthday to Yukino. Get the celebrations out there, the Feels birthday, man. But I also have a special song that I totally wrote for you, and I didn't steal from someone. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. Hey! There you go. That's your birthday song. You can take that. So, there you go. Happy birthday. Anything you'd like to say before you go out and go celebrate with the team after the 6-0, as well as your birthday tomorrow?
Yeah, I gotta shout out the fans, you know. I gotta shout out Sniper, even though he got slow kill twice. Like, I mean, like, like he was like, I mean, I can see he was tilted, but like, you know, like he was like still playing chill, you know, like he was still playing. Yeah. He didn't like lose all his mental, you know. So yeah, I gotta shout out to Sniper for not being tilted in the series, even though like it was a rough series for him. I'd like to shout out my family because they did come to visit. They did come to visit me for my birthday.
Aww.
So, yeah, that's it.
All right, well, thank you, Yukino. Congratulations on the 6-0 weekend. Good luck next weekend as you look to face off against Dignitas Challengers on Sunday. But we're going to toss it to a break for now as we get ready for our final series of the day. Make sure you stay tuned for the CLG Faith series against Team Liquid Honda Challengers.